Hi, it's nice to see you again. How you been doing this past couple weeks?
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
A little tough, but I think when we met last time, there were a lot of things we covered that felt good to get them out and talk to you about them. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, good deal. So, is anything new with your life? Anything you want to talk about today?
Just some regular work stress, and there's one thing that's been kind of weighing on my mind, but I don't even know how to address it. Really, it's
what's going on?
Such a shock. I got a pregnancy test in the trash the other day, and probably wasn't supposed to find it, but I was dumping the bathroom trash in a bigger can, and it was hidden in the bottom. And it just took me back because she's only 17, and I don't even know how to approach it with her. I don't even know what to do right now.
Okay. So you feel pretty shocked about the pregnancy test that you found. Do you know, was it a positive test or?
Well, when I found the box, I thought I needed to do some more checking, and she does keep a diary, and I try to keep track from time to time because she is a teenager, and sometimes decisions are made in haste, and as a mom, I just wanted to make sure that I'm watching for signs and signals in case something were to go wrong like this. And I did find an entry where it did say she told her boyfriend that it was a positive test.
Okay.
She hasn't said anything to me, and I'm just not sure how to approach that with her. I was hoping maybe she could come tell me, but I'm really not sure if I should hint or ask or.
Okay. So it sounds like you're feeling pretty lost at this point, kind of helpless maybe, not exactly knowing what to do. So how do you think this kind of came to be? I mean, does she have a lot of alone time with her boyfriend? Was she taught, what kind of values was she taught growing up? Was it maybe just an accident, or how do you think this came about?
Well, we'd always talked about abstinence is best, and that when you do give that away to somebody, it's one of the most precious gifts you give away, because you only give it away one time in your life. You give your heart away thousands of times in your lifetime, but that's the one true gift that you only give away once. And I had hoped that it had inspired something in her. I know she waited a lot longer than a lot of her other classmates, but I just wish that she had felt comfortable enough to come to me before it came to this point, and now I'm just not sure where to turn.
Okay. So you feel like maybe it might not necessarily be a bad thing in her eyes, but also it could be a good thing just because of the values that you've instilled, that it is something special that you share with someone, so maybe she felt that was the right time for her. Do you feel that it was the right time for her? Is maybe that why you're having some difficulty talking to her about it? Do you feel like she's too young, or?
I do believe she's too young, but that obviously is out of my hands at this point. But I know she probably feels a bit ashamed and doesn't want to come tell me for that reason. But I've always tried to instill in her that I'm going to love her regardless, because she's my child, and there's no greater love in the world than that. But I'm just having issue with trying not to break that confidence with her and get angry, because I know that won't suit anybody or fix anything.
Okay. So if you've raised her with, she should feel comfortable coming to you and talking to you, and you feel that that she believes that, why do you think she's having such a hard time bringing it up to you, or why do you think she's hiding it? You think she's maybe ashamed of it, or embarrassed?
I think it's simply the shame of it all, because she had so many aspirations and goals that she meant to achieve, and a child is really going to make that not impossible, but very difficult, because she knows how I struggled to get my education after being married and having a child and trying to do all those things as a mom, and it wasn't any easier, in my late 20s, early 30s. But for her, it's like she's taking it all on at once, and I know that that's not going to be easy. I will be there for her, but it's just the issue of how do I cross that bridge to open that door and say, is there something you want to tell me? Because I just feel like that will be such a
breach of trust.
Breach of trust, and I don't want her to fall apart. I mean, I know there's probably going to be moments where she will, because this is a life-changing matter, and I don't know what her decision is about it yet. I tried to, read a little bit in the diary and keep following what was going on a little bit, but it's to the point now that she probably needs to go get care and make sure everything's okay, or again, if she chooses differently, then I have to be there to support whatever decision she makes.
Okay. So it does sound like you are being pretty protective, at least of her well-being. You do want the best for her. And I can hear a little bit of still the helplessness, not really sure what to do. This was a decision that she had made on her own, so you kind of want her to come out on her own and to be able to tell you on her own. I mean, how does that make you feel, though, that she won't tell you? Does it also make you feel maybe like
helpless, really helpless? And
does it hurt your, other than helpless, does it hurt your feelings? Does it kind of make you regress into yourself? I mean,
a little. I know she doesn't want to tell me for the simple fact that she doesn't want to disappoint me. Because she knows how hard I've worked to make sure she had things in her life, and that she had the opportunities coming, the schooling that she was going to get to do and be, a real college student, not like I was, but to be able to participate in all those things, and that was part of her future. And now I know she's probably looking at it and going, oh my gosh, I've just completely disappointed her. How do I tell her? And I hate that she feels that way, and I know I've set the bar high for her, but it was only because I wanted everything for her, the best for her. And granted, being a grandma right now is not what I expected.
Right.
But it is what it is, and we'll get there. One way or another, we'll get there. But I just wish she would come talk to me. Right. Without me having to force it out of her.
To pry it out, right. And that is always a concern of a parent, is you want to give them enough space to feel like they have their own freedom, but you also don't want to give them too much and feel like that they might be too far out of reach once something like this does happen. So knowing what you know now, now that you're older and you've had life's experiences, if you were to be in her position right now, what do you think you would do? Do you think you would be reacting the same way that she is? Would you be embarrassed or ashamed, or would you be experiencing those same things? Or do you think that you would just come out and tell your parents? Or how do you think you would handle it if you were in her shoes?
Well, it's such a big generational change from when I was a child and where I'm from to where she's at in her life, that I don't know that I would choose to have a child.
Okay.
In my life, that was never a choice that I felt I could make, but if I had to, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
But looking at her life and seeing it from the other side, not being married, not having your way in life the way you planned it, or everything that you had worked so hard for, I would probably have made a different choice, being in her shoes. But for me, I don't know. It's a hard choice, but I just want her to feel that she can come talk to me about it and know that I'm going to support her either way. And I don't want it to be a blow up or a huge argument because that never goes well between us. She's not a child that's really ever been in any trouble. So for something like this to come up, I mean,
she's probably pretty scared on her own, and
I can't imagine what she's thinking or where her mind is going every day when she comes home and does homework or is with me cooking dinner.
Yeah, and I can tell that helplessness is coming back on not knowing exactly how to help her through it. And that is a hard choice. You know, that's always going to be something hard no matter what age you're at. And there are options. So it's good that you have explored those, and at least for yourself that you are open to those options, even if it is for your daughter's well-being. And it does sound like that you are absolutely supportive of whatever decision that she would make. It's just getting to that first step of her talking to you about it, and just that first leap of faith that she needs to take in order to, you know, confide in you and exactly what's going on with her right now. So I know you said that you didn't exactly know how to approach her about it, exactly how to say it or what to say or anything like that. Would you find it difficult to speak to her about it just based on hurting her feelings, or just based on your own personal feelings? Or why exactly would you feel that it's difficult to speak to her about it if it is for her own well-being?
I think at the point that it would come to that, she would know I betrayed her trust by reading her diary. And I know she's not a small child anymore, and that I probably need to take ownership of that and just do it. But because we've had a tumultuous life, not an easy life, not a hard life by many standards, we've always tried to be respectful of each other and not jump in when you're not wanted to or needed to. But we've always maintained the mother-daughter position in the hierarchy. I've tried to be her friend too, to a certain point, never to be disrespectful. And I'm just not sure where all of this fits into all of that, because granted, this is a life-altering thing that's happened, and I'm not exactly sure how to address it. It's just, it's so difficult, and she's such an amazing girl, and I don't want to see this destroy her future, but then I don't want to interject my opinion in her decision-making process. So I want her to feel comfortable and able to communicate either way how she feels about it. And then I've got to remember not to react. And I just, at this point, I'm just still so in shock. I'm afraid that I'm going to react instead of listening so much. And I don't want to do that.
Right. Well, and this is an adult choice that she's made. You know, she's going to have to deal with the adult consequences. So that can cause her to maybe grow up a little bit faster than she might be wanting to. But there's only so much support that you can give before you do have to intervene, and you do have to kind of step in and say, hey, what's going on? You know, I know something's different, and maybe we should talk about it. But I know that is kind of difficult for you at this point, just because you don't even know how to begin. And a lot of kids, once they do get older, they do feel thankful for the parent that had intervened at that time, even if it was difficult and maybe there were other options available. That might have been the best route at that time. And a lot of kids, honestly, once they get older, like I said, they do appreciate the intervention. I know you're having such a difficult time trying to bring it up to her. Would you maybe be interested in a group counseling session? Maybe we could all sit down and talk about it. Maybe that would make things a little easier, and maybe just to have a middleman of someone to kind of graciously bring things in, or...
That actually may help to relieve some of the tension in the situation and help me not to react so abruptly. So that I think that might be a good idea.
Okay. And we can set that up if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, I can definitely see that it's something hard on you right now, and definitely might use a little bit of help just to kind of address the situation. So if that's something you want to do, then we can definitely set that up, okay?
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.